Okay, let's see if I can get this out. The dream before I lose all the details. I am a hot mess, tired this morning, but you're going to ignore all of that and we're just going to go straight into it. All right. So I was in a house setting and I had visitors over. And at one point, I had to run into a back room because I heard my mother and she was on the phone trying to make a phone call. And she kept leaning against the wall, losing her balance and kind of catching herself against the wall. But she had worn like there was like a knot in the middle of it and then a soft drywall around it. And she kept bumping it. And she was on the phone, and when I was like, what are you doing? And she was diseased again. Usually when I dream of my mother, we're having coffee and we're visiting, and she's straight and she's healthy, and it's just she's visiting me. This was not a visit. This was like her showing her in her disease state and reminding me of the struggle of taking care of her and some of the other things that had happened at that time, which were not pleasant and really hard to deal with. Whole nother story. And anyway, I was scolding her. Well, why are you up? You're going to fall over, And she said, I'm trying to help you. And I said, I'll take care of it. Just, sit back down or lay back down. And then I helped her back to her bed and I put her in bed and I was like, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. And I left that room and went back to the guests that were in this house. I'm losing it. And it was kind of like being back in I just went to a quantum healing class, diverting for a minute, last night with Penny. And it was like a classroom of people, and it was like a discussion or like a sharing of ideas. And the man who was leading the class was telling us about his views on healers and people who say, oh, give me your money and I'll give you an answer. Oh, should you buy that car or not? Here's your sign, give me 5,000, I'll tell you all about it, or something like that. And he was advising use your own discernment. And when you get information and you come across people like that, just use your own discernment. You will know what's right or wrong for you, and it's all about free will. Great things to say. And then some of the rest of it was different for me. Aliens, yes, I believe in the possibility of aliens, but do I name them, claim to know them, or be very familiar with them? No, this person did. And he seemed very fascinated with aliens, and he seemed very comfortable in his own skin and talking about what he talks about and doing the things that he does, as he should be. And no question in that, no question about what he knows. It's just not what I know, which is, I think, the whole point of it. All right, so keeping that in mind, the setting when I went back out to the guest in this dream that I had was kind of, it had that same feel to it. Like somebody was like saying, oh, this is how we're going to do it. I figured it out. Here's the magic formula, or here's the idea, and he was so confident about it, and everyone was like, yeah, okay, yeah, and they were like really adopting it into their belief system. And their guests, I was going along with it, like, okay, yeah, this is fun. But in my mind, I didn't share it because it's not my business what he knows or they know or what they accept or don't accept. In my mind, I was thinking, that doesn't ring true for me. So I'm just gonna, enjoy the moment, enjoy the connections, and move on. I'm gonna, think about it, take it in, and I'll vet it out. And you know what? Doesn't quite ring true for me. And that's at that point in that scenery, being in a house with guests, it switched. From the moment, that point of me saying, yeah, this is great. I can take this in and enjoy the gifts of the connection, but I'm going to leave the belief behind because it doesn't ring true to me. Then it switched to what felt like what's the best way to describe this? Alice in Wonderland. Because it was a bizarre world, environment. Some people may even say dimension. I don't know. But it felt very Alice in Wonderland-ish. And almost, how she's like from one issue, and then she follows White Rabbit, and it leads her to another issue, and then she's falling down a hole. Next thing you know, she's really big with a tiny door, and then she eats something, and then she's really small with a giant door, where everything just keeps shifting and shifting and shifting. And it's just one thing after another, like an amusement park almost. That's how it felt. And so of the people that were in the start of the dream in the house, like a 3D regular world, reality, it was a smaller group that was in this Alice in Wonderland world with me. And we were going through like rides, and it felt like there's like gateways or tests. And the whole time it was like we were trying to figure out a riddle. So even the man at the house party thing or gathering, it was like when he was talking, he was like, I figured out the riddle, here's the answer to the riddle. And he was so excited and sharing it with everybody and so confident with his answer. And I was like, I got a different answer, but I'll just keep it to myself. Didn't say anything. And that whole riddle answer thing continued into this Alice in Wonderland world. And there were like gateways and tests and points where it felt like we had to provide the answer to a riddle. And it was like, I don't know if it was the same riddle and it kept like layers of it, or if it was new riddles. Now, okay, it feels like layers. It was layers of the same riddle, like building onto it or adding onto it, or next layer. And at each point the group got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. There was less of us. And the whole way through, I didn't know how I was making it through, because you had your people that were like, oh, I figured it out, and they'd be like, hey, here's the answer, like you're sharing the answer with your buddies because you want all of us to go through. Here's the answer. And they wouldn't make it through. And I would listen to them and I'd be like, okay. But inside I was thinking, I kind of identify with some of it, but it still doesn't feel right. Or like, I don't know if I can accept all of it. I don't know about all of it. But I didn't have an answer. And somehow I kept making it through the gateways. I kept making it from level to level to level, from gate to gate to gate, and next like crazy environment challenge with characters and, to the next. And I had no fucking clue. I had no clue whatsoever. All I knew is that wasn't quite right. So I wasn't accepting their answer, but I didn't have an answer, and yet I passed. And that went on until there was like 2 of us. And then we walked up to what looked like a old Western like metal bar, like jail. And these 2 men were in there, and it was like an armory. And it was rough. It was not glamorous. It was like rust and spray paint and whatever. And the first person, or the person that was with me, went up to the bars first. And it's like, you have to talk to these people, these strange characters. And this man that was on the other side of the bar was tall. He was blonde. He was in a red shirt and I think blue jeans. The shirt was kind of sort of gauzy. And he had like what looked like spandex underneath, like white spandex, or maybe it was some kind of like a back support belt that sort of looked like a unitard. I don't know if y'all know what that is. It's a wrestling outfit. So it's got the straps, but it's really low cut in the U shape, the neckline and the back line. So it looked like a white unitard with a belt. I don't know. Anyway, you can see it underneath the red shirt. I don't know if it was on purpose or just the details I pick up on. Anyway, the dude kind of reminded me of the Silence of the Lamb guy, puts the lotion in the basket. And so he's the one standing at the bars. And so whoever, the person that was with me, walked up to the bars, and he's like, okay, I got this. I got this. I got that. I think I got this. And the red shirt guy was like, what's the answer? Like, what's the secret password to get through the gate, to get to the other side? Because they had to go into the gate. I say gate, but you have to go into the jail bars, get through the door, through the jail bars on the other side. So that whole, you can't get past this little alleyway thing unless you go through this jail bar box armory thing. So he gives the answer, and the guy in the red shirt pulls out this old giant Western gun and says, kills him right there, shoots him in the head. Dude drops, but then he just sort of like, it becomes one with the ground. He just sort of melts into nothingness. So I'm walking up because I have no choice but to move forward, because I know I can't go backwards. I don't know how I know that, and I have to move forward. And I'm standing in front of him thinking, oh shit, I don't know what the answer is. Still, I have no fucking clue what's going on. I don't have the answer. Here I am. And so the guy in the red shirt says, he's asking me, so what's the answer? What's the password? Whatever it is. And I'm like, don't know. And so he steps back, turns sideways, clicks the gun, and he's about to shoot me in the head. And this little quirky guy, who's like 5'4", I don't know, he's short. He says, whoa, 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 stop. He's like, not this one. He's like, come in here. And he pulls me in, and he sends the red guy in the red shirt away. I don't know if that was the test to see if I crumble with a freaking gun pointing at my face. And he pulls me in. He's like, you made it. I still don't know what the fuck's going on. I made what? He's like, he made it. And he says, I'm the king, or I'm some position. I'm going to say king because I don't know what else to relate it to. I'm the king. And I'm looking at him and the big guy in the red shirt, and he seems more like in charge than that guy. That guy just seemed like his sidekick, whatever. And the roles are completely not what you think they are. Everything is reversed and backwards. And when you have the answer, it isn't the answer. When you think you know it, you don't have a fucking clue. And the more I said, I know that that's not it, I don't know what it is, that apparently was the past that kept me going. And this little guy was like, hey, you need to get changed. You have to meet the others. It's time. We need to get moving. You're going to be late for this event. He's like, so get changed. And then he opened up some secret door in like the concrete side of the wall of this jail cell thing. And then there was like, not a gown, but what do you say? Like robe. I guess it was like a long robe, and it was sort of like shiny, translucent, gold and rainbowy at the same time, sort of like light. I don't know. It was weird. He's like, here, you need to get changed. He's like, yeah, that was my brother or my son or whatever at the first test, and somebody else at the second test. So like these royal people, or these people of status or of position, were built into this whole alternate world thing and testing everybody. But they look like regular people that you would dismiss, or that otherwise, would be the brunt of jokes, or would get totally looked over for position or importance. You wouldn't think they were the important ones, but they were somehow. It's like, yeah, we're we were at every part of this. And so I changed, and then I didn't see what was on the other side. I woke up. But thinking about it and replaying it this morning, which is why I'm recording this, so I don't forget and I can stew on it some more, what occurs to me is that, besides that it was bizarre, there was more meaning to it. And I'm asking what the meaning was. And the more I kind of chewed on it, I ended up sort of just by talking it out, narrowing it down to, in this life, the hardships that we're going through and the things that we experience and the loss that we experience, it's all in preparation for the test. And that it is giving us the information needed to pass the test. And that the test, or the answer to this ginormous riddle of life, a life riddle, however you want to say it, is not having the answer. So the answer is not having an answer. That's your path. That's how you move forward. That's the secret. And it seemed like the more everybody was like trying to share the information and, ooh, this is the secret code, or hey, I got it. The ones who think that they have it are the ones that don't. And the ones that think that they're clueless and they're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know what the answer is, but all right. You kind of go along with it because you want to know more and there's just something pulling you, but you're not quite identifying with that and you feel a little different and you just kind of, and you're able to admit, I don't have a fucking clue. I don't know what's right or wrong, up, down, black, white, whatever. I don't have a fucking clue. I just know this is what feels real to me. And the more you stick with that thought, even as you're going along, because, well, it's life, and you stick with the thought, I don't know the answer, but I know that that's not it. That is the answer. That is the past. That's what keeps you moving forward. All the rough experiences. That's what's needed. That gives you something. It's like a key. Each experience is like a key that unlocks the next gate, door. So the message for me and from me that I'm passing on for them is to not get locked in. Don't get pulled in. Don't think you have the answer. Don't think that anybody else has the answer. Don't get comfortable with what you think you know, because it will not be anything close. Just get comfortable, I should say, what you think you know to be true. There is no one truth. It's all true and nothing's true. I think there's a saying about that. I don't know what it is. I don't remember shit. I have the worst memory. But what I do know is trust what you know and what you feel. And it's okay to not have the answer, because apparently that's your past. That's what's going to get you to the end. Not being tied to any one thing, any one person, any one idea, any one saying. So don't be hard on yourself if you're trying to navigate this life and you're trying to navigate the woo-woo and the reality and the happiness and the woes and the loss and the heartbreak, heartache, violence, joy in the little things. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all what's supposed to be happening. It's all part of the story. It's all part of your answer. It's all part of what's going to get you to the end and see you through. And yes, I think moral of this whole story is not everyone's going to make it through with you, including the ones that most think that they are most in touch and connected and I'm at a loss for words. And make it lonely. You may feel scared to death. You may feel nervous. You just keep trusting that you don't have the answer, but you know what is or what isn't. Or what, I should say, what is not the answer. You don't have it, but you know that's not it. Translate that however you need to, because I don't have the words right now. You're not alone, and there's a point to it. So just sit and marinate on that, and you'll come up with your own answer, or maybe there's some part of this video that's speaking to you in a way that it needs to, and that whatever you get out of it is exactly what you're supposed to get out of it. Because you know what? I don't have the answers either. I'm just sharing a story, and I hope you enjoy it. And if nothing else, I wasted a few minutes of your day and you needed a break, so enjoy it. Anyway, okay, enough of this. I gotta get to work. I'm not working, and I should be. So, peace, love, and all that experience shit. All right, stuff. I'm sorry for cussing, which I think I have the whole way through. It's me. God loves me anyway. He knows what he built. Here it is. All right, bye.